Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manichean Nomads series here on the Lord Master channel, featuring the Pechenegs clan of Boru Tomak, led by Khan Sagay, the Ahura Mazda of the Pechenegs. As I said, that's the name of our clan, which from the beginning of the series, it had the distinction of being the only Pechenegs clan that adheres to Manichaeism. Well, now we are the rulers of it, and we are spreading the religion by installing more clans that would be Manichaeans, which there's 3 of us, and there are still some Tengris clans here, which one day we will be rid of them. But fortunately, there is a way. Don't discredit, but I'd be most willing to get rid of them. But the problem is they haven't done anything criminal. Not if we have anything to say. They gotta fabricate the treason, make them look like the bad guys. Starting with him, because he is way too dangerous. And then after we absorb his clan, and then we will be rid of him and replace it with a Manichean clan. And send the spy master over. That's for starters. And of course, we still are a nomadic tributary to Khazaria, but Khazaria has gone weaker recently, and I feel that this should also be the opportunity to hold it right there. This would be a fine opportunity to deal with the Kagan, who calls himself the monster, or they call him the monster, as he is clinically insane. And his successor, who is the chief rabbi and a renowned commander. So that's why I feel that the opportunity would be now. And maybe one day expand into these territories, because they have a city there. And it's also home of a trade post, which, if I remember correctly, we can only afford one. So perhaps one day we should free ourselves from Khazaria, and then expand into Atu, and then we can make some fortune off of the silk trade, in which we plan on going to Sogdia one day. And that's one of the major goals. So look, listen, the first major goal for this nomadic part of the series, as we are expanding a bit, but we need to expand more of the population, because if we want to go down to areas such as the Shadam of Sogdia, led by King Sharuk, can't declare war against him, but let's say if you were to fight a war against a feudal country such as that one, this is what it requires. They're not nomadic. All the following must be true. They're not tribal. My population is over 5,000, but another thing that must be true, actually one of these must be true, the other is to have 15,000 population. So that means I need more steppe land, and as well as more land that we will gain, so we can appoint Manichean clans to replace the Tengris clans that are still in our Khanate. And so that will do. So we just need to increase the population. Speaking of which, since we have about an excellent amount of money, we fought a hard-fought war, but our wagon train got recently destroyed. So that would up the maximum population if we had it. Well, we're currently building riding contests just to improve our morale of our armies, and as well as the manpower growth. So I figured, as it's going to take a while to reinforce everybody because we had a hard-fought war, But their combined strength, along with their clans, and possibly a few others that may join in, because they say tributary can call... No. Suzerain can call the tributary into wars. So we may want to rethink that a little bit. Should rest and recover, but the Kipchaks have weakened. We should do a subordination of Khanate, which we can't start that war because we have 5,000 population. That's one of these must be true part. But the problem is this man. That'd be easy because he's not landed. We need a new Ostabad. Fortunately, we got plenty of loyalists. Well, the Galti one. And you say you're a moneymaker. Well, what do you say about this? For Khanate. Yes, sir. Only one opposes. Well, before we start that war, let's look at the other things, such as societies. We have 57% of the current progress of the legend bar. I am 57 years old, so I got a good couple of years ahead of me. Just by being content. But I am a lot of things, especially being a duelist. Not duelist in Manichaeanism context, but duelist as in masterful fencer, you know, and all that. That's what we mean by that. We are currently fabricating the treason. Because that man, I want him gone. We're going to be calling some over here. I've already sent the spy master over. That's good. So position over here to Ura, and then we will move in. No, head to Or, and then we'll be right there. Deal with the Kipchak remnant. It won't take much, as they are alone in this issue. Can bring the family home as this whole war was over. All the children in hiding can return now. I have many children. Yes. And Cornell, who is the heir to the Khanate of Pechenegs. One day he'll be good. As he's yet to have children, but even if you don't have children, then and maybe Batan would be the one. What's the reason why I can't send him away as mercenary? Nomadic manpower. Ah, yes, the manpower. But don't worry, we won't use up much of it when we take Irgiz. Yeah, think of Kyrgyz. It's only them. You want more grazing land? Well, you ain't gonna have any land anymore, and we'll replace it with a new clan. That is my intention. As I have appalling diplomacy because of the recent political defeat I had in a debate. And yes, we have a lot of gold, but saving that money for a new wagon train, which has, again, it was destroyed during the last war. Wish I could have appointed the main overseer, but no, you have to be either travel or fuel for that. But I can increase stability in the province, just to make things easier. How many Manichean Vassals do I have? Let me see. 10 grist. 10 grist. 10 grist. Manichean. Manichean. One day we'll celebrate the Bema Feast. So it'll spend 300 prestige to start a war like this. But it'll be a short affair. No need for anyone's help, we can do it. Listen, you may be a good commander, but we're gonna make you look like a bad guy. Hope you get killed. Probably not, because he's very talented in his own right. Sauro's captured. Ready? The Yabgu himself. They have that relationship because they're allied. Negotiated. Well, it's too late for you. Because before they can get everybody assembled, we would have it by then. So... Sure. Now keep in mind, there are no matrilineal marriages in Manichaeism. Speaking of which, can you try to proselytize these people there? Since they're just relatively new onto the scene. It's just an attempt. My liege, I've arrived safely in Mania, and the local rulers given me permission to remain here and spread the true faith. May the prophet Abraham grant me the strength to endure the heathen ways of these savages. Best of luck to you, Didascalos. You're also my court physician, which I can afford another if I wish to. I can afford a wise man, too. We plan on going to war against you, so no. And I guess you're the new ruler. So we gotta take this area before they assemble a larger combined horde against us. We got him. The land is mine. Clans want more land. Could face a minor clan rising with the siege rivals among the major clans. Oh, don't worry, I would, but... You see, I need more land for myself. Because this is excellent grazing land. It's peaceful, too. There's hardly any resources in Sogdia proper. Should we ever go there one day. But beware of the Tahir Shadam. Because one day they'll attack us. And that is another factor why we gotta get rid of these Tengrists. All of them. He's Karazian. Well, hopefully they'll all convert to Manichaeism one day. Because do not underestimate the strength of our faith. Even though I haven't been a good Manichaean as of late. Look at this big chunk of land we might take one day. Alternatively, go to Jund, which this area here has two of them. Jund, Sanak. And then you would be right at the borders with Sogdia. And I made my intentions known that we wish to go down to Sogdia and to eventually get to Samarkand, which that area there is a holy site for the Manichaean faith. Because that's where the resonance of the Archangels, or the Yagman. Oh. Not to mention trade posts, both this and Bukhara. And we know that the Sogdians are renowned for their light of the tree and horse archers, as well as the trade on income, global trade value, and trade posts. Whereas for us, we don't get that luxury of the trade post income. So it's entirely possible that we might one day settle in Sogdia, become the Shaddam of Sogdia, and adopt its culture possibly, as it will still have. Look at Samarkand, even though it's kind of limited. You still get to have horse archers with the steppe riding grounds and riding grounds. Combine both of these, you'll still have them. But there is one independent Manichaean nation out there, and that is Tarim. Started in Kashgar and made its way down, capturing all of it. But notably, there is one East Syriac Christianity, Nestorianism, basically. And don't forget about them as well. And them too. There is Manichaeism out west, so you could say when we get down to Sogdia and we become a Manichaean nation down there, at least we'll be protected by those should any of them declare holy war against them. And of course, anybody who hires the army of light into service. Anyways, head back to the capital. We'll fight Khazar one day. And at the same time, get rid of the Tengrists in this country. Thank goodness. I'm here. It's gonna take a long while for the manpower to get all the way up. And this man here is a member of the Ring of Honor. But he's kind of dangerous with his martial skill. What if we go raid? You know, get an early start. Weaken them, soften them up. Is it possible to raid against your own suzerain? I don't think so. If it's not the case, then we'll raid somewhere else. No, you don't raid against your own suzerain. But there is a Tengrist uprising there. That's what's going on. It's the rebel army. It comes from Aktuba. In this case, back away. Has this been raided recently? No. Well, okay, we'll raid them instead. And then once we're done raiding, come on back down here and fight against Khazaria. If we finish this February, then we'll rebuild our wagon train. No, sir. Not interested. Prefer to see a week. My co-conspirators have fabricated evidence that at Temple of Moran II is planning a revolt against me. I'll circulate the evidence among my vassals to support my actions against the traitor. I'll save disgrace even though that is not good. My reputation is ruined. Why do I get the feeling that I want to do the tyrannical thing? So that idea didn't work. Perhaps due to my low diplomacy and my lack of intrigue. There. Somebody's got to commit a crime one of these days. Oh, please stop. Get that rebuilt. There's the new apostle. He's going to be the heir to the Manichean Church. As stated before, we will be just to strengthen the relations between us. Oh, I forgot I don't have a wife. Died in dungeons during that devastating war. You want to be on the council? Well, guess I could. The best thing I could do for you is to be the spy master. But unfortunately, we're out of room. Oh, I know. I got a place for you. Just don't get mad, alright? That losing a political debate thing. Sparring match. Hope you're not doing anything. Demonstration duel, so 61% progress, and now here comes another jump. The onlookers are cheering for me as I swing my dull spear with increasing enthusiasm. When it's over, Asalopa Durgahid is on the ground. Faced with embarrassment, I shrug, smiling at the crowned head of my opponent. I take it I win this fight. They really reinforced this. Aha! The plot is revealed. Unfortunately, it must not be a blood brother. God dang blood brother thing. Yeah, we form a blood oath, and it cannot be broken until the day of his death. Do not have Blood Oath. God dang Blood Oath. What am I gonna do? Antagonize him? That's a surefire way. Alright, I'm not antagonizing anybody at the moment. A criminal brought before me was a local merchant from Mangasak who raped a number of local women due to his connections and wealth. He was able to intimidate most of his victims and their families into staying silent. But he made a mistake when he raped the daughter of a nobleman. Now many of his victims' families demand justice and a proper compensation. Also got to deal with those raiders from the Kipchak remnant. Well, this is the way to get the diplomacy back up. Imprison him and give some as well to us and the rest of the victims. There you go. Now you're a little more respected. No, just so on name long. Okay. Didn't say Katon Mala. The problem will solve itself. You know, all that money that you have, it's almost like, don't you think it's about time you should build a temple? Even though I really want to get out of this swamp, this marshland, move my capital step somewhere, but I cannot. And the main reason for that is the resource. You can only move your nomadic capital to one other place to a resource, which is how you get another source of income. So you'll be hard pressed to go east. That gold mine up there is rather tempting. Thinking about it. Expanding upwards. Yeah, sure. Imagine that. Like, say, if we want to invade Volga, Bulgaria. Over here, where? Yeah, subordination of Volga, Bulgaria. We can do that, but obviously you have to wait for the truce to expire, which is next year, actually. Well, half a year. And then maybe I can move my capital to that gold mine. That's another way of getting income. But again, land's full of Tengrists. Or is he trying to spread Manichaeism to other areas? While I still wait for him to make a mistake. I think we should give it another try. You have the money. You have been using it. cowardice can only take us so far. My horde swarms into the holding of the smart tribe as walls crumble and fall. They intent on plundering, but won't go ahead unless me. Their Khan gives them permission to do so. Bring back the spoils to me and we will divide them between us. So we gain some gold, a little bit, and population. And we will destroy their war camp and the artifact room there. Continue to loot the rest. We have the High Chief, so pay up. Oh, he ain't gonna make much anytime soon. One of my local retinue wards approached me with a petition for aid. They say his family lost several of their mares to illness and now they're struggling to feed their children. You shall have 6 mares for my personal herd. Imp! I'm speaking in tongues, screaming obscenities at random times. Most often when the presbyter preaches and sometimes lying on the ground, writhing in apparent pain, I seldom remember these things. People believe me to be possessed. Begone, foul demon! Experimentality. Huh. It ups the personal combat skill a bit, so every little bit helps. To be quite honest. This is the Temple of Moran. Get a Brian Moran. It's a reference to something that you people wouldn't get. But if you do get it, then you got it, okay? No need to explain more. The priceless work of art. You know, Mani was an artist. Prophet Mani. He was a great painter, too. What's our population? Now that I thought about it. Like, you think we should fight a humiliation war? As we're looking to increase our population to the max? Instead of expand northwards to get to that gold mine? Because you have your other priorities. Just don't worry about your troop numbers. I mean, your horde versus, you know, our vassal allied troops, if they're willing. Most won't, which is why we have to get rid of that element here. No fortifications, there's just a small garrison. Don't you start. Wagon train constructed. We could go for another training ground. It's gonna suck. Of course it is. Can't make him look like a bad guy. And I wait for this old man to croak so he can break this blood oath, get rid of all the Tengris. That is my intention. Been losing so many troops out here because that damned supply limit, and especially the drought in the winter. No wonder. Get out of there. Now that's definitely going to delay our plans. Why didn't I think of that? Donate army to the Army of Light for more karma so you can hire them later. Whenever that time comes. My lord, this is an extremely generous donation. not be forgotten. You have my friendship as well as that of the Manichean Church. Rest assured that you will be rewarded in the afterlife, if not on earth, yours in faith. Well, I mean, I am possessed currently, so... And let's hold a war games. I could invite warriors of my realm to compete in games in much skill, horsemanship, archery, and swordsmanship. There will be gold as prestige in it for the winner. 1 second. We should celebrate No Rose first, and then war games. New Year shall soon be upon us in the world of Iran. From the snow-capped Pamir Mountains to the fertile plains of Mesopotamia shall soon be celebrating this holiday which has been observed since ancient times. This year I intend to make Nowruz a spectacle to be remembered for years. Let's make preparations. I'll begin first by clearing my entire residence. I have a good feeling about the upcoming new year. Our trusted guard recently got injured, and while it thankfully isn't too painful, it's clear that it doesn't bode well for his health as he is now bedridden for much of the day. He is old and about to retire. Anyways, one morning I pay a visit and he tells me of his grandparents stopped by just before he died. I point that they died decades ago, but he shows me they did visit. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would just say, me as a man who speaks in tongues, seen things, and call myself the Ahura Mazda, I would say perhaps they did come. The universe is full of mysteries. I received word that my trusted guard who recently got injured and was on his deathbed just passed away. Strangely, the day before that, his relatives had told him that his grandparents came to help him pack for a journey. Could have been a sign of things to come. Strange things have always preceded death, after all, as the stories tell. He will be missed. And now Nowruz has officially begun. I wake up in the morning full of energy and excitement. Before I do anything of importance, however, I first taste honey thrice and light 3 candles before speaking to anyone, to ensure good luck and ward off disease. Now that's taken care of. Time to prepare for the court ceremony. The first day of Nowruz. I welcome Nowruz in a lavishly decorated hall. My servants have placed silver and gold plates and vases, filled to the brim with wild fruits and colorful flowers, all throughout, and it looks beautiful. As custom has it, I'm first greeted by a court astronomer. He kisses the ground and congratulates me on the new year, wishes me good fortune and prosperity for the coming year. Good. Now let the musicians and singers come in. My court will enjoy the entertainment certainly. The song and music of Nowruz. All is festive and joyful as the musicians and singers come in, and my courtiers sit at their assigned locations. As the highest ranking member of the court, I have the right to choose whichever song I want the musicians and singers to perform first. There are many songs traditionally performed during Nowruz, and only Nowruz after all. Perhaps you'd like to hear the grand Nowruz el Bazog, or the softer, more exotic Nowruz el Wahawi, or maybe uplifting and spiritual Badin Nowruzi. I think there's also sweet, lovely Tak Iperuzi. I'm all about karma these days, so I wish to hear the soft sounds of Nowruzi el Wahawi. As part of the Nowruz celebrations, I exchange presents, usually sugar, with my friends and loved ones. Of course I'm going to be the big spender. This year I spent a lot of money on these presents. Wine. Nowruz is a perfect time to intoxicate oneself with the finest wines, for it is not a joyous celebration. You need stewardship, so drink as much as I need to. Moderation. Nowruz dance. This year's Nowruz has been nothing short of exciting and fun. But alas, all good things come to an end. The world begins to calm and settle down, and return to my normal routine. May this year be a good one. May the 1st. But even before we hold the Wargames, let's hold a summer fair, which again, Manicheans along with Christians are allowed to hold summer fairs. And it don't cost much. I give the order the summer fair should be held in Sarajok this summer. This should make the peasants happy. Which again, just be grateful that we're all alive and we still have our home and everything. Whoa there. We are advancing, thanks to the province bonus. Yeah. Just let the horde recover. Thank you very much. No, do something about it. It's right on your capital too. I had invited a monkey trainer to the summer fair, and the performance went well until one of the monkeys refused on top of the pig. The trainer beat the monkey with a stick, which led the other monkeys to attack the trainer, biting him and hitting him with his own stick. Here's your money. I don't want to say ever again. My liege, I bring bad news. Though I'd seemed to making progress in encouraging Kukutin to abandon his heathen ways, he had a sudden change of heart. I've been banished from here, and I say good riddance. Let these stubborn savages suffer the eternal horror that await them in the afterlife. Very unfortunate. And also you shouldn't use such language. It's not quite the Manichean way of saying such things. Try to convert them here, locally. Peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. The jugglers, strolling players, and other interiors preparing to leave. The summer fair is over this year. It was great fun while it lasted. On this same day, as it was in its ragged fur and sorrowful eyes made the bear look pitiful. When its trainer started playing his flute, the bear started dancing. The dancing bear and his trainer traveled from fair to fair, and this year they came to the fair in Sarajok. He really loves to dance. And now, Wargames! Khan Sagay of the Pechenegs has decided to hold a great competition in martial skills. He called for brave warriors across the Pechenegs to assemble at Sarajok in 2 months' time, where they will display their prowess with horse, bow, and sword for the admiration of the horse of spectators. May Zurvan guide the mightiest to victory and honor. It shall be a great contest. So it's an equivalent to a grand tournament, so to speak. What that is. Let me see. There's gotta be a way. There is a way to increase the legend progress. Summon more lodge commanders. Cool. So just more members, meaning more chances for them to do duels between one another. And all that. Inherited. Inherited the Iga's tribe. Gee, I didn't know there was a tribal holding. Inefficient land management, so you hold too many holdings in your personal domain. Oh, speaking of which. Ah, here it is. Domain Overseer. After much political bickering below my station, and the council presented 3 choices, which to pick the next Domain Overseer to take care of the stability of the provinces. I know I should not overlook the stats of each candidate, but also their education traits and the relationship. Which one shall I pick? you'll have to do. There you go, you got your overseer. You always wanted that, do you? So now we will have a Manichean tribal ruler. And that means for the first time in this series, we shall observe the Bema Feast. One of the most important religious observances of Manichaeism, the Bema Feast takes place annually at the Vernal Equinox, meant to celebrate the passion of Mani. And this year, we have decided that it shall be a feast to remember. Note that if you enact a decision outside a yearly time frame which feast occurs, it won't actually begin until the equinox. It's August, so it's going to take a while. So we have 3 Manichean vassals, the tribal ruler and the 2 other clans. So this is a year of feasts and fairs and rules. It's just we're happy that we're still around, alright? So it'll take a while for it to set up. Glad I have this too. And some skulls. It kind of makes you wonder. Since that was during the war. Don't worry about it. When he dies, I will get his things. Understandable. So the Vernal Equinox. It'll come soon rather than later, right? But for now, at the same time as the Wargames, like while these wars, especially Tenger's not there, anyways. The Wargames begin. Warriors have come to Surrey Joke from afar, gathering for the great Wargames. A patient stomping of horses accompanies the excited cries from the spectators. As participants salute me, I give the signal for the contest to begin. I look forward to watching from the stands. First day of fall's coming, so is that the Vernal Equinox that we're talking about? The war games are going well, and the onlookers cheer with excitement when Eteba, Tima, Zopan, and Kura get a ride on each other on the field. A ring of steel on steel is soon replaced with a shock gas on the ground as Eteba Tima slips and is all but impaled on Kura's blade, clearly a mortal wound. Blow well struck. Also, I heard a death. Character died. Yes, slain by while fighting the war games. I was at the war games to find myself sitting and listening as 2 riders plotted together and avenged themselves in the next round of battle. I listened carefully to their plan and I instantly saw the flaws. Intriguing. I mean, I don't have enough intrigue, so good. Every little bit helps. My vassal is arguing with his wife. She seems quite upset and almost screaming at each other. You don't even notice that I'm watching them. Again, my opinion of him. He's a scheming bastard and refused to call all my wars in the past. I had to intervene. He seemed very grateful for my help and promised to return the favor whenever possible. Oh, good. A favor. I'll tell you what, you can use that favor. Stick it up your... Never. Not that. Just ask for some prestige. It'll do. Don't make me laugh. My courtier says the joke anyways, and I almost die of laughter. Had a good conversation with Bato as he's having diarrhea. Possibly dysentery. That's what it usually starts with. Circassian, Susan to... Sure, that's non-aggression. Wargames still ongoing. Alright, you saw the merits of my request to proceed to spread the good word of my deeds among the powerful of the world. Well, certainly I am now better known. All help is welcome. When is the equinox coming? Guardstorm's going. My liege, I failed you. One of your artifacts has gone missing. Etebed Hakan Samasamak is made off one of your artifacts. Asenas, Paul! You son of a... You know what that means to me? You have any idea what that means to me? Did what he just did. But anyways, there's been a great deal of talk at the Wargames of Tura's beauty, which is a concubine to Kostas. Oh. From the moment she arrived, men have been falling all over themselves to earn her favor. Many a bard has promised to commemorate her vestige in a song. Some are suggesting that she is the new beauty of the Pechenegs. How lovely. A famous beauty trait, so she has a calm voice, but it's like you're saying she's beautiful, but she's only 15. But she'll be turning 16 soon. I mean, I can have her. I mean, she's the concubine. I can take her whenever I want. Look at her. She's quick. She's shrewd. It's a good mind. She has a calm voice, and now she's a famous beauty. In her realm, this character is renowned as a great beauty with few equals. Well, now I kind of desire her now. I mean, I could ask her in marriage. In fact, right now would be wise. Can't be me. Is a powerful vassal and would not allow it. It hasn't impregnated her yet. But anyways, after much deliberation, Seflav Boru Tomak, that's my son, has been declared the winner of the War Games and bestowed his honors in an elaborate ceremony. Warriors from across the world rousely cheering his name. A worthy winner. He just gained a large amount of prestige. Not to mention the winning prize of the money. The war games have come to an end, and the stories of the great heroes and their unfortunate victims are already spreading throughout the land. An event to remember. He's not a member of the Warrior Lodge yet. But I'd like to recruit him. He's got what it takes. Look at him. He's brawny, he's tall, War Games champion. He definitely has what it takes. Definitely does. So that is it. Every single one of you, I'm giving you a chance to recruit to the Warrior Lodge, because most that do accept it will have an increased renown. Not increased renown. Legend progress bar, 73% now. They all accept. We'll hear from the rest of them soon. Legend Eagle Warriors increased. I wonder if Etebed Kostas would appreciate learning more about the benefits of hard work for me. Cannot think of anything else right now that would help him like me more. Oh, good morning. When is the Vernal Equinox? As I have no idea when that is exactly. I mean, we made aware that there will be a Bema Feast. Alright. No more migration. They've been assimilated. It's complete. Continue with the integration. Do what we can. Pechenegs, a wrathful, frothing madman, unable to listen to reason or accept any lesson, no matter how justified, should denounce his quick-tempered attitude so that all could see it. You're the most disgraceful. I'm only saying that because just to get out of this blood brother thing, the blood oath. But I can't imprison him because we made an oath. Cut it out. That damn zealot must go away. Fortunately, we got a dull guy who's been publicly humiliated. At least we could try to fabricate treason on that one to make our job easier. Don't even have an artifact room. Throughout the day, I've caught myself grinding my teeth and I'm able to focus on anything at all. It's starting to realize why I've been on a bad mood all day. Just can't seem to abide having lazy people in my presence anymore. Ah yes, my other son, Tima. Forgot about you. You need to be in a warrior lodge and stop being so lazy. Process of aging. As time goes by, it becomes more and more difficult for me to keep my training in personal combat. My reflexes are not the same. My energy is failing me. Everything get harder. Trappings of old age. There goes some of my combat skill now, as it's just been dropped. Unless I get into more duels. But we're almost there. That big jump of that legend progress based on those activities of the Warrior Lodge. And my children joining it. And people fighting in duels. And finally, the old man croaked. 89. Almost there. He never committed a crime in his life, but other clan vassals see this as tyrannical. Well, we have a very good chance of making that happen now. Okay, we're gonna make exceptions. My rival? Put our house arrest. Because that would be the exception. Raise her to become a Manichean. And the rest will go. How dare you? If you don't want to pay, then what the hell are you going to do? Here it is, April 1st. That's the Vernal Equinox. So this was the same time as Nomads, no wonder. I've begun preparations for the Bema Feast to celebrate the life and death of Prophet Mani. I sent out messengers with invitations to my vassals, All expected to come and honor Zurvan. Kostas, Kurji, despite the difference, and the other Kurji, the chief. Right. This year will be very special. This is the first ever Bema Feast for us Manicheans. It is customary to fast in a religious reflection before the start of the Bema Feast. Will you partake in this tradition? Talk about devotion. But I'll say I will fast for the next 3 days. I can't guarantee if I lost health. There's no indication of that. Guests have arrived from the villages throughout the realm to celebrate the Bema Feast. The festivities is almost ready to begin. Excellent. We just bypassed April 14th, which, by the way, that is the birth anniversary of Prophet Mani. Take a drink. The singing of hymns. The Bema Feast starts with the singing of various hymns that celebrate the return of spring, the life and death of Prophet Mani, and the battles of forces of light won over the armies of darkness. All those gathered raise their voices to the gods, a chorus of faith and beauty that touches the soul. This is my favorite part, as he would say. Exactly. The Feast of the Elect. Only the elect, those who are devoted to the Manichean faith, are invited to partake the ritual meal, which both symbolizes the life of Mani and the theology of the Manicheans. To take part is a great honor. Honor and glory. Even though it's mainly karma for us. So this is why we need more Manichean clans. That's what I've been trying to say. So we can have all these great benefits. Peaceful province here. The presentation of the Azang. The Azang, or picture book, is a work painted by Mani himself, which depicts the Manichean theology in simple terms, so that even the uneducated can read and understand the faith. The book rests on the Bema until the feast is over, after which the priest recites sermons from it and absolves the sins of those attending. Praise be to Zurvan! There's a 3% chance you become cynical, 6% chance to become zealous, 6% chance to become learning, 19% for karma, or even, well, nothing. So remember, 884 of the karma up there to your top right corner of the screen, and I have 8 learning. So let's see. Nothing. The Bema Feast is over for now. Another celebration of light to drive back the darkness. Excellent. Who knows when we'll be able to hold another one again. It seems it should be a mandatory thing, to be quite honest with you. Like, if I ever see that option again, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sure other countries, those other Manichean countries further eastward, have also celebrated the Bema Feast too. We're still not in range with them whenever we go east. They have a large horde, but they want to make it a tributary state, as per usual. I mean, you've got all these clans that are with you. Well, you know what? My clan, the duchy, these are other tributaries. It's not like all of us are going to be free from it. But I do, again, I do have interest in taking this area. It may be marshland, but it's got a city, and we'll be able to build a trade post there, and we'll have another source of income instead of relying on plunder, and as well as the craftsman quarter. Not quite to the max manpower just yet. In fact, that's not even a max. Oh boy. I think that case is stronger now too. The reason why we must free ourselves and fight against them, but we can't use our combined strength until our clan is rid of. And look at them now. You are very weak. And sooner or later we will brand you as traitor. Nobody embezzled me. No, don't discredit him. He's another one of the good guys. Why not? Let's hold another summer fair. Again, it only costs 1 gold. Murmurs are singing outside the townhouse while slowly moving towards my castle or my yurt. The summer fair suddenly felt less pleasant as mothers clad in strange clothes went from door to door singing and frightening small children. Come in, welcome. Sorry about that, son-in-law, but that's just the way it's going to be. An Avar duelist. It's going to be a heck of a fight. But bearing in mind this is a duel for honor, not to the death, but it's going to get us a lot closer. Now, the onlookers are cheering for Timur Plat Jalutit. As he was swinging his bare hands and increasing to his other when it's over, the man looks at me with pity. Got wounded, but I'll live. The fishing industry in Mengenschlag is experiencing something of a boom. For some reason, the population of fish has grown dramatically, significantly increasing the amount of fish available. This will feed many families and provide a lot of fish that could be traded elsewhere. Oh, yeah, I forgot you're Manichean too. But you serve under him rather than me directly. Right. And why do I own the county despite the fact that the liege says him instead of me? It's his land, so. Oh, not again. I'm no longer tricks as you used to be, so I should be, it might end in a draw. No, I win! Alright. You know what that means? Give me some money. That's what happens when you lose the debate. Almesh, a veteran in my lodge, is a poor duelist at best. It is shameful for someone like him to be so woefully unready should the Eagle Wars call upon his aid. Perhaps I should encourage him to spar with another member. Good God. Yeah, a wounded man. Cutdown should provide an even challenge. Since the door, I've been practicing a bit with Dima. The man did best me, and I was quick to ask for any pointers. He seemed surprised first, but today I'm proud to tell him he's a good teacher and friend I have. I already have the proud trait, so no shame in acknowledging a worthy opponent. Almish fought each other with teeth and claw. A cheering crowd formed around the commands, and Almish eventually won their favor. In a duel, Almish suffered some minor injuries, and I'm sure they only served to build character. Almish thought Khanate was beneath him. Yeah. There wasn't much for this year's feast. A fire within. Often I feel an uncontrollable rage burning inside me. When I yell for long, no one in particular, I savagely hit myself and start vomiting from my mouth. It's like my mind is a battlefield where the forces of light and the demons that try to control me, and after a few minutes, all this rage subsides and I'm completely exhausted. It is a battle worth fighting. I'm still wounded, and now I'm just having fits of rage. Slain in personal combat. Huh. You'll have to do for now. Come on, do something criminal, you traitor. Unless, tell you what. It's about to begin, so you better get rid of this wounded trait soon, because there is no way you're coming to combat, you know, wounded like this. No way. That means I'm asking to get my ass kicked. And Kono will be the one to lead. I don't know what's going on with these two, but one of these days. Again, he's not as good as the others. But I fear the worst. Check. Hey guys, I do have too many people at court. But do not worry. They're only here because there's good reasons for it. I think inviting Etibar to an activity we could do together will help us grow closer. I'm not entirely sure what kind of activity I should suggest. Well, knowing him, he's a military man, so a hunt will be perfect. At the same time, me and my men are practicing wrestling when I notice a crowd starting to form around you. Wrestling is an art and tradition that keeps nomad warriors fit for war. Whatever so often that happens, that training sessions turn into competitive spectacles. My men have already started putting on a show for the crowd, then they beckon me to join them. Well, I'm already wounded, but hey, you're the mighty ruler. And who knows what the possessed tree could do for me, knowing that, what's been going on with me as of late. I can't disappoint the audience now, can I? I decided to join the contest. With matches lasting upwards of 2 hours, book wrestling is an excellent way to prove your endurance. You and your opponent are expected to dance as I enter and leave the contest for you. It is also expected the winner to help the opponent up off the ground as the match is over. You'll know this will require to exert yourself to your very limit. I'll challenge one of my greatest warriors. Guess I'm looking at him. His challenge to a wrestling match. Sagay. This is Sagay, Khan Sagay. The crowd cheers as me and my opponent dance into the contest field. After circling for a while, I charge in, locking myself with a opposing wrestler. After minutes of fierce grappling, I spot a weakness in my opponent's defense. I quickly let go of his upper body and grabs his legs, tipping him over. He falls over and his elbows touch the ground, and I am the victor. Yeah, old man wrestling. That's what the crowd wants to see. Hey, it ups the personal combat skill, but because you have the proud trait, does he remember the Eagle Wars? Yes. Prestige, 100 prestige. How many rivals do I have? A good too many, one would think. So, just be a good sport and say, I have triumphed. Now take my hand, I'll help you out. I'll gain less prestige, but since we're about to go on a legendary journey soon, I think it would be most wise that you'll get your prestige through there anyways. It'll have vassals respect you and ups your combat skill more now that you know wrestling. Every little bit helps. Chilton Nessie's training. I have noticed that all this focus on physical activity might be dimming her mind. My daughter's been ignoring many of her other studies and responsibilities to better refine her combat skills, openly belittling their importance compared to the art of war. I wouldn't have it any other way. Doesn't want to come to a hunt. Yeah, I noticed she has a strong trait, but ideal. What rank are you? He's a veteran. Why his uniform's different? Doesn't look like it's just been working out for you. Right. What? Oh, this. Approach. All it takes is 2 more activities. Just be ready. Time is coming soon. Just hopefully, just wait long enough so the wounded trait can go away. But as I'm an old man, you may never know how long it'll last. Perhaps throughout. Oh God, here we go. For the Eagle Warriors, I proclaim, raising my glass. The cheers around the table are boisterous and the air hangs heavy with anticipation. There is nothing left here to conquer. Someone laughs, raising eyebrow considerably. Kurboga members, have you ever been to the Al-Abbasi Empire? Capital idea, Kurboga. Let's seek out fighters in the Al-Abbasi Empire. A group of heroes begin, prepare to journey into the realm of Caliph al-Mutadi for blood and glory. So, yeah, I'm gonna die. That's what I'm guaranteeing what will happen to this character. Most of the time when we do these things, as you've seen in many of my past series, don't expect Sagay to survive because he's already wounded. He's still got the combat skill, but he needs to get rid of that wounded trait before things get ugly. And then there's potential he might become severely injured. He might lose a body part or two, and then he'll finally die eventually. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen. And there's nothing I could do. What? I do remember something, because I had a bit of an interest. A tiny bit, but I don't know if I want to survive that, but clearly this old rod, despite the fact she's tall and a genius, she was everything. And he never laid with her because she's a Tengrist, right? Right. There's this other woman I saw. I forgot her name. She's a famous beauty. One of those clans. Oh, this has got to be it. Ahura. They haven't defiled her, but she's Manichean. Mind if I take her as a concubine? He says no. He's claimant. Claimant? How related is Batan? The daughter of Batan? Oh, brother. And this is from another mother. Well, this is why you refuse to patrol or something. If I had my druthers, I would do the kidnap routine and then make her as my concubine and in turn marry her, but no, I believe that should go to Konel. You want to improve your intrigue? Well, here's your chance. And you gotta improve yourself. And also get rid of that old broad. The start of the legend. I'm soon to be off into the lands of the Al Abbasi Empire. My Aranspabed, Chigu, is concerned for our troops being without leadership. Might I suggest you leave your masterful short sword behind as a token of your continued guidance? He offers. If nothing else, you should have that thing sharpened, my lord. He frowns. The weapon could use some love, I suppose. So, it will now be an upgraded short sword. Went from... yeah, it's upgraded, now it's masterful. Put that on. A treasured trophy of Khan Sagay's. The Eagle Warriors had this weapon sharpened before his adventurous journey to the Al Abbasi Empire. Small improvement to the combat skill, but it'll have to do. My history in battle is known to many, but there are those who could benefit from learning more of my experiences. Like that time you chopped someone's head off? Yabgu Korboga asks, in response to my idea. A feast where you regale your core with the stories, he continues. I considered the spirits it could lift as I soon depart for the Al Abbasi Empire. Yes, such an opportunity. The time has come for us to move into enemy territory. Yabgu Kaboga toasting once more to Eagle Warriors. We shall find our most experienced warriors and show them what it means to be Pecheneg, I declare. Everyone shall know our name, he agrees, slamming his fist on the table. Yes, the Yabgu and the Khan. Together, we are stronger. Plus, we're both possessed too. So I will say, yes, together, we are stronger. I'm gonna die. I guarantee you, this will not be a success. It would only take a miracle and a half for that to happen. We camped on the plains on our way to the Al Abbasi Empire. While I'm scouting the perimeter, I hear a sound of fighting. As I lean up on a large rock, I spot a man wrestling a lion and winning. That's where he's from Cairo. In fact, that is the capital of the Al Abbasi Empire. It's Cairo. A challenge. Hey, you. Yes, you. Let's fight. The man wipes some blood off his face before standing himself ready to face me. He's strong and he's a duelist, but keep in mind I'm wounded, so there is a chance, despite the combat skill and me being brawny, I could die. The lion dead on the ground. The man braces for my attack. I call out, "For the eagle warriors!" My masterful short sword swishing, nay, singing through the air, with the trees as our audience, and only witness to my deed. As soon as I sever his head from his body. Another victorious match. I'm still wounded, but now I got a swollen ankle. Walking through the streets of a village in Cairo, the locals seemed eager to point out how foreign I am. They clearly never seen a man like me before. While some adoring my armor and confident stride, it does not take long before I encounter open hostility. "Go home," one man barks. Another strong duelist. "You want to say that to my face? Let's fight." I draw my weapon without hesitation. The crowd scatters around us. My opponent and I are falling into circle one another. The ensuing fight is even more than I care to admit. At the end, I am sending a quiet prayer to Sirvan as I take in the cheers of our audience and slam my weapon against his head. Another victorious match. Still wounded. Having spent the evening drinking and talking around the campfire with my traveling companions, I finally bid them good night. On my way back to my sleeping spot, I pause nearby. Leaning against a large rock, a man is tending to nature's call. "An enemy!" I yell, more surprised than alarmed. Elusive shadow, but he's a hunter, but still dangerous. Oh, excellent. I will do this one. Albeit under the influence, the battle stance comes naturally to me. My opponent staggers backwards in surprise, almost tripping over the large rock. Before he has time to catch up, I sink my masterful short sword into his chest. The man groans, and it takes a while before my own heart stops pounding. Then he is still. Another victorious match. Still wounded. It hasn't gotten worse nor gotten better. It's just how it is. I have been following a rumor, trying to track down what is supposed to be the most feared fighter in the Al-Abbasi Empire. A deadly fencer, I'm told. "You go to your death," innkeeper warns. Yet, when he's pointed out to me, I find myself face to face with a hunched elderly man, eyeing me suspiciously. They call him of the 1,000 faces, because he's disfigured. He's genius. He is strong and brawny. Oh boy, I think I found my match. I will not go easy on you, just because you're old. 60-year-old men duke it out one another. I may not have the movement as I used to, but damn it, doesn't look like I backed down from a challenge from anybody. Duel for the legends. As the man unclasps his cloak, I gasp beneath the disguise of a poor, withered elder is an athletic and statuesque person. Donned in fanciful armor, he lashes out at me with a silvery sword. I almost scream in surprise. When it is over, I am bloody and out of breath. And now I got a concussion, which reduces some of that combat skill that I just earned for winning duels. Look at my face. It's almost becoming a crimson mask. I have partaken in a local tournament, and I have been knocking out Levantine fighters with ease. Grinning, I search for the crowd for the face of Corbuga, who's been cheering me on. I find him looking a bit pale, turning face to face with my final foe. I hear someone shouting the introduction, "Wab, the Hunter!" He is a giant. He is strong. Shrewd duelist. Finally, a challenge. I will duel the tallest man I've ever seen. The giant only grunts in response to my taunts, sluggishly swinging his massive club. I slash at his legs and unprotected arms, and a crowd roars of excitement. And suddenly my opponent discards the weapon, declaring, "I'll stop toying you now, barbarian." The swing picks up speed and I have nowhere to run. It is over. What did I tell you? I was gonna die. I told you that was to happen. And you know, this was the final opponent. I waited all the way up until the very end. I hope you're ready, because you're not as good as I am. Khan Sagay ascended to heaven at age 61. He died trying to best in a legendary duel. Known to be a fierce fighter, Sagay spent most of his days practicing his next duel, always seeking new thrills. Khan Konal, a formidable duelist we expect to excel in tournaments of personal combat alike. Long live Khan Konal. The blood of a legend. Khan Sagay of the Pechenegs. My father left this earthly realm, but tales of his adventures are all around us. The memory of the magnificent warrior man is sure to live on, if not the hearts of his companions, so in the blood of his family. A hero has left us. We will remember you, Khan Sagay. We will remember you. Marauder's blood. Sagay, the Ahura Mazda, was well respected within the Eagle Wars, known for his strategy and skill in battle, inspiring other commanders for years to come. So you get a bit of monthly prestige, up the personal combat skill a bit, but increases the chance of looting artifacts after sieging enemy holdings. Nice. You will never be forgotten, Father. He did predict one day that his death would be coming. He has killed 28 individuals. Whereas I've not killed anyone. But now I have my father's sword. As stated before, he predicted his demise. But now, the Khanate has split. But fortunately, most of them are Tengrists. Others went to their own ways, while we went to go eastward. And perhaps one would think that it is time to strike. Because you have all these claims. Guess we do like each other. There's this woman, I recall. But hey, at least you're not bound by blood oath anymore. Again, it's a noble woman, but yet she's a famous beauty. Which makes me feel jealous, honestly. But she doesn't like me, because of clan sentiment between us. But he has no heir. Oh, don't even think about it. He's still got plenty of years ahead of him. And this is the one that might have a son. Yeah. I'm just reeling over, you know, death of father. He was a great warrior. Died a legendary duel. But nevertheless, the Bloodline was founded. as it intended. And the descendants of them live on, including myself. But based on those set of skills, I have a lot more to improve. Dour, honest, brave, chaste, shy. I'm not really talented. But I am determined. Because we never know, one day I'll be a hero. In my own right. Again, got the bloodline. It's just my priority now is to thinking, how can I get a woman like her? She has very high intrigue skill, which means she cannot be kidnapped. Bypass imprisonment seems like a stupid idea. You can raid. I mean, you're no longer bound by blood anymore. But we will make our intentions known. That in the next episode, we will reclaim those lands. All those lands are Pechenegs. And then after we take the titles, and then we'll have Manichean Vassals again. We will try to get as much land as possible, quickly as possible, before the Uyghurs Turks will have a chance to strike. At least fortunately, the Sogdians haven't been going anywhere. But I did take Khwarazm. As stated before, we are vulnerable. We still have to pay tribute to the Khazar. But we can't do it alone. We gotta get everybody together. But at least I still hold this land for myself. Anyway, so we hope you people have enjoyed this episode. I mean, this was kind of a bit of a sad end, but it will be remembered. Always be remembered. And now I'm 33 years old, still considered part of my life, but quite honestly, I must have children of my own. But also, to be quite honest, my brother is better than me. Well, he's my half-brother. Not a child of a concubine, no, but he is way better than me. It's almost as if I have no business in being being the Khan. He should be the Khan. I'm just here just out of circumstance because of prestige reasons. I have more prestige than he does. And plus, he's the Wargames champion. In fact, just to make it so, he will be the designated regent. And the Yabgu. And he could definitely be one of the commanders too. He's one of the good ones. So, again, hope you people have enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, we will retake all those lands that we've lost. Unless others would have their chance to, get back at them. But this is our chance to strike back at those Tengrists. And when we get enough territory, we will form new clans that will be Manichean. And of course, I shall choose the Shekinah. Oh yes, the Sky Burial. All that and more. But even though that Sky Burial thing, it's usually applied to Zoroastrians and Tengrists. And I think people in Tibet, they do that too, yes. But we're doing that because that's part of nomadic customs. So in the next episode, we will say our final farewells to our father as I will choose the patron angel, the Shekinah, and among other things. And when we retake those lands, we will celebrate the Bema Feast again. Probably just celebrate the fact that the armies of darkness that are out there has to be defeated one more time. So we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, so long for now.